hopes for the national championship come down to this play. Young from the shotgun. Back to throw. Vince looks. Under pressure. He'll tuck it in and run. Vince to the 5. Young. Touchdown, Texas. Touchdown, Vince Young.
And now, if you would, please direct your attention to the southwest side of the playing field. As of this day, August the 30th, 2008, the uniform number 10 of the winningest quarterback in Longhorn football history is officially retired. Head coach Max Brown is presenting a framed jersey to today's honoree, former Longhorn quarterback and current Tennessee Titans quarterback, number 10, Vince Young.
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank my coach, Coach Brown, for taking the opportunity to come get me out of Houston, Texas, to bring me to Austin. I want to thank the loss, Coach Raw, and I definitely want to thank our UT fans. I want to tell y'all, without the love, just, y'all heart, y'all spirit, and the way that y'all carry yourself around the nation, I just want to tell y'all, y'all mean a whole lot to me. I'm going to keep being a role model, and I'm going to keep representing the University of Texas till I die.
Ladies and gentlemen, now officially forever young, number 10, Vince Young.
Brooks with you here on College Football Saturday, 28-10 Longhorns, and they will receive the second half kickoff as well, as Cosby and Shipley are deep. Roy's kick and is taken by Shipley. Weaves his way up just shy of the 30-yard line, and Obadiah, beg your pardon, as we'll take a look at the first half stats. And Texas, first downs 18-11. The big factor, of course, is the rushing yardage or lack thereof of Florida Atlantic.
Texas has run the ball pretty well with Obadiah doing a good job back there, and also McGee and Colton McCoy chipped in as well. Blaine Irby, big night, 6 catches already in the first half, helping Colton McCoy to have a pretty impressive debut here for his junior campaign.
And Texas first and 10 from the 30 to start things off. McCoy flushed out of the pocket, shows you his wheels. All the way across the 40. Oh, there's another late hit. Just no reason for that from Joseph.
And he knocks him into Mad Dog, too. You don't want to do that.
No.
Get him mad.
Mad Dog will take him on. We're talking about Coach Madden without any gear.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd take him versus anybody.
Watch on the sideline here. You're going to see the shove right there. And watch Mad Dog. He's right there. Uh-oh. We'll take care of business, but Colt stepping out of bounds, and that's a late hit, guys. You don't need to do that.
Even though it wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't major, but you know what? You lose your balance. The footing is not good on the sidelines because it's got a tarp over there, and players slip on it, and that can really cause some problems. And Franz Joseph, a leader on that defense, really probably knows better than that. But each team trying to protect their own here.
Maybe people saw our telecast the other night with Baylor quarterback Robert Griffin, who came to the sideline, did a little dance, and headed up the field for about 20 yards. So sometimes you're thinking, well, he looks like he's going out, but he's not yet. But you still got to be able to pull off.
Yeah, you've got to pull back. You've got to be able to judge it on the sideline. It just takes a little bit of poise defensively.
Well, anyway, after that, 1st and 10 now. And Shipley connects for more. He dances down the sideline before he is knocked out. And Texas, on 2 plays, is knocking on the door again.
You know, when Colt McCoy was a freshman here at the University of Texas, there were some who were questioning his arm strength. No doubt about this throw right here that Colt McCoy has plenty of arm strength to throw a good tight spiral. This is across the field to the outside, and that ball's right on the money.
McCoy back to the live action here and scampers inside the 10 down near the 6 as Greg Joseph makes the play.
And that's some of the things we're going to see this year with no huddle situations. They go up tempo, they slow the tempo down, never huddle. They just stay at the line of scrimmage, and they can do that. They can keep the same personnel grouping out there. Texas is pretty versatile with their personnel groups that they put in the football game.
And Texas now 3 plays, 63 yards on this drive. Here is Vondrell McGee, cuts it up, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns. How about that? 4 plays, and if Florida Atlantic had any idea of carrying a little momentum, forget about it.
Well, this power run into the outside. Watch number 19 on the outside, Blaine Irby, get his block and hold that right there, and he runs inside of it very well. Good job of sealing the edge and then blocking on the outside with Blaine Irby. Vondrell McGee finds the end zone once again.
So McGee gets his first touchdown, and Texas trying to tack on another one here as Hunter Lawrence with a point after, and it is good. And the Longhorns now bump it to 35-10, and it took just 1:04 into the 3rd quarter.
Nice drive.
Yeah, very impressive. 4 plays, 70 yards, 1:04, and the Longhorns with 13:56 to go in the 3rd quarter will kick it off here. Texas. Justin Tucker once again kicking it off. Edgecombe from the 3. 15-20, got a seam. Momentum carried him out of bounds, just shy of the 35-yard line, I believe. And we'll take a look at 32 yards on the return. Here's Florida Atlantic's work in the first half.
Yeah, the first series, the fumble, the snap over the head of the quarterback when they're taking it down, almost have an opportunity to score, and then punt, another interception. So late in the 2nd quarter, though, had a little confidence build there with that touchdown that Dusty Smith was able to engineer with his football team. So let's see what they can come out in the 2nd half here to have that same spark.
Smith in the first half, 12 of 25 for 226 yards, 1 score, 1 pick. And this time to Pierre. Pierre is stopped near the 37-yard line. Roderick McElroy, a junior out of Hallsville, Texas, with a tackle. Had 67 tackles last year. We like his work in the spring, and again, he really drills this fall.
And he's been solid, too. 38 of 39 games started here. He's really been a guy that's been a long-time player for this Texas defense.
Illegal motion. 46 offense. Decline. 2nd down.
And they'll just take the result of the play here. You see Gary Nord handing the play off there to his quarterback, Rusty Smith. See the numbers on him for the first half. After 1 touchdown throw with the interception on the tip ball.
Smith, who became a starter as a freshman, didn't go the whole way, but started the beginning of the year, at the end of the year, and then last year, a Sun Belt Player of the Year award for his talents. He's got his work cut out for him here. Pierre stuffed for a loss on the play at the 33-yard line.
And there's Melton, Henry Melton. Used to be a fullback for the Longhorns, now getting to be that full-time defensive end, anchoring that side of the line for him. Got to play off the blocks and get back there.
Third and 12 now. Will Muschamp, the new defensive coordinator, looking on as Smith going to work for the Owls. Oh, what a grab across the middle. A one-hand stab by Jamari Grant. Tell you what, Florida Atlantic has some pitch and catch.
Well, they do. They've got the pitch and catch. They've got some long bodies to throw to. This is going to be about a half a yard short. I'd be very surprised if Coach Schnellenberger does not go for this. You've got to create a little momentum. Watch that catch. Left hand pulls it in, and
they're going to call it 4th and 1, and Smith.
Oh, boy, it's a matter of the spot.
Yeah.
Just a matter of the spot here where they put this. I think it may be short from what I'm seeing. Both line judges coming in, and I'm right here on about the 45-yard line looking straight down the field, and it looks to me as if this thing is going to be put down about a half a foot short of the first down. And you've got Coach Schnellenberger on the field taking a closer look and thinks that I think the Texas defense did what they needed to do to hold Rusty Smith back from getting that first down.
Well, and some might think, well, hey, it's kind of a gamble. You're down 35-10. No, you, at this point.
No, you got to go for it in this situation, no doubt about that.
And you got to feel that your club can pick up a yard like that, and they didn't. As a result, you give Texas the ball back on the 45-yard line.
Well, and you put number 12 back there, too, the quarterback.
Yeah.
See the push here? Defensive line by Texas doing what they do. They actually jump over the top. You got a bunch of Longhorns there trying to pile on Rusty Smith, and he just never got going.
And John Childs comes back in with McCoy. That Q package, as they call it, with the two quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
There's Childs up at the top.
First and 10 for Texas at the 45 of the Owls from Florida Atlantic. McCoy. Nearly picked off.
Should have been picked off.
Yeah, Franz Joseph had the best shot at it. 131 tacklers for the first team all-conference pick last year, and he's thinking, how'd I drop that one?
Well, he was reading McCoy all the way and just dropped out to that zone, and almost like he was the intended receiver. Nobody else in the screen. There he is.
Looking for Childs.
Yeah.
Childs comes out for this play. Second and 10 from the 45. McGee tackled near the line of scrimmage.
Corey Small showing me something as a cornerback. He's come up and made a number of tackles on the outside, covering guys out there pretty well. Pretty heady player. I see what they like in him. He's a 5'10", 190. They like he's their best cover guy. He's the anchor in the secondary for him, and he's definitely an NFL prospect.
So third down now, and call it 11. Colt McCoy. Gonna keep it. Still looking. Unloads. Got a man. Incomplete. Oh my. Cosby nearly made an acrobatic grab. What a throw by McCoy, considering what he had to go through to get to that.
You know, he had a lot of pressure on him on the outside. You know, Colt McCoy's been out running the Florida Atlantic defensive front all night. This time he takes his life into his own hands trying to hold that ball up there to get it to Quan Cosby. And when Cosby goes up for this, I think he should have turned his hands around the opposite way and pulled the ball in instead of trying to catch it up on top. And Colt does a good job of getting it out there. See what I'm seeing here? The hands are up. If you turn those hands over, he can pull that ball in.
Bill and Jackson, who put the pressure on him, I think you're right, that this may show it a little bit better.
We'll take a look here as the Cosby goes up. And
Timeout. Florida Atlantic. The first timeout this half.
So the Owls earn a timeout. Kind of interesting scenario here. Texas with a 4th and 11. Florida Atlantic called the timeout, and now Texas shows that they're going to go for it.
And now a little extra time to think about it.
Yeah.
Coach Brown decided, hey, why don't we go for it here?
I don't know if they originally had planned to punt
short
or
punt.
not.
There you go, a little pooch punt.
Colt McCoy could do that. So, and they down it at about the 2-yard line. How about that? How talented is Colt McCoy?
Now, you know, he can do it all. Remember early in the ball game, first punt by Florida Atlantic. They kick it right into the end zone, about the same spot that Texas lined up with that football. And now this is how you do it. You try to pin them back deep, and good coverage there, knocking the ball back. Did Cosby get down there to get the football? Shipley.
Great
Okay.
hustle by Jordan Shipley. Yeah. And as a result, they put Florida Atlantic in a real hole. So Florida Atlantic, if we go back to their last possession, they don't get it on that 4th and short. They do stop Texas, but it's a loss of about 44 yards. Now they operate with that end zone crowd.
You got 4 seconds on the play clock.
They better hustle. Smith in the end zone. Another timeout.
Well, why would you take a timeout if you're only going to lose a half yard?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Florida Atlantic, their second timeout this half.
Yeah, you got to know where you're at.
And you're a junior quarterback with that experience. I'm sorry, you got to. Now let's see here. With it 1st and 10. Smith from the end zone. Fires it incomplete. Intended on that time for Lester Gene, I should say.
Well, Lester turned in. I think that Chris Smith thought he might have been, Rusty Smith might have been thinking he was going to turn out. Inside shoulder, can't get to the football.
In a game that has been somewhat of a methodical whipping of Florida Atlantic, the fans choose the opportunities to get into it. They're kind of doing that now, like, all right, we got them backed up here, and second and 10, 5 wideouts, empty backfield. They come after him. The look in is complete. Mid trying to get out of his end zone, and no signal yet. I don't think it's going to be. They're hoping for safety, but his forward progress was stopped near the 2. But great work by the Longhorn defense.
Well, this is a good job here getting to the quarterback and continuing the pressure, and then you just react. Good hit there. Who strikes him? Is that Jared Norton again? He's been hitting people all over the field tonight. And also Brian Arakpo on the sideline, defensive end. Out of the ball game. They're tending to him on the sideline.
3rd and 10 now. Smith got a little more time here, and it is complete to get him out of severe danger. Jamari Grant, who last year had 16 grabs for 127 yards, makes the reception here. Quiet the crowd down and give him a little more room to operate as it moves the chains for a 1st down.
Well, I know Rusty Smith is happy to be out of that end zone. You don't want to be working back there too much against a speedy defense like Texas. And good job by Grant of hanging on to that football. They've been throwing to him a lot tonight, and going to need more production for him in the tight end. Tight end is a big weapon in that offense. You just take a look at Arakpo on the sideline. Don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe just need a little break, trying to get some gas in his tank.
He's the preseason All-American. The real leaders of this defensive group. Here is Smith. And again, incomplete, trying to hook up with William Rose out of the backfield.
And you take a little gas off of that one. That was a high heater coming down to him, and just no way to pull that ball in.
Shot Bobineau was covering on the play. Bobineau, a senior out of Lamar. He has started 39 of 40 games here at the University of Texas. Honorable mention all-conference pick last year. It's that kind of experience, and with people like Arakpo up front, Melton even, that gives this defense some hope that these young but talented guys in the secondary can come along quickly. And a pitch out. Edgecombe runs out of room on the sideline, shy of the 20. Let's see where they mark it. Ryan Palmer makes a stop.
A couple of times they've run that play tonight. A little misdirection, kicking it out to the outside and trying to take the aggressiveness of the Texas defense this way and then come back around the outside. You see Keyston Randall there. Number 91 pursuing well from his defensive end spot.
Owls are 6 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. They've averaged 18 yards a play on 3rd down. Third and 7 here.
Now there's Arakpo.
Well covered that time. He had great pressure on him, and a Texas player.
That's Brian Arakpo.
Yeah, down.
I think he's got a cramp maybe in that calf or the hamstring. He went through the offensive tackle and got to the quarterback. He hit Rusty Smith.
Gary, sometimes you talk about the heat, and even though evening here in the 90s and that, sometimes people misunderstand. These guys are in great shape. That doesn't mean that you can't suffer from dehydration.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And, you know, Brian Arakpo, a guy his body is just tremendous and probably got low body fat. You know, the heat, some guys aren't used to sweating like that. And when you take that low body fat, you have sweat, then that's going to cause, you know, potential cramping in those muscles. And hopefully that's all it is with Brian Arakpo. And he'll be back out there. And, you know, he's strong. He's an athletic guy.
Peterson back to punt. Stands inside his own 10-yard line. They block it. And Texas falls on it inside the 20-yard line. Well, they've shown a little bit of everything tonight. Ben Wells, I believe, is the man that came up with it. See who got the block coming in on that far side.
That was their safety.
Is that Thomas?
Earl Thomas,
yeah.
The freshman. True freshman, redshirt freshman coming in there inside and getting that block punt, and then they try to pick it up and take it to the end zone. But a great job coming in there inside as Ben Wells gets a recovery.
There's Thomas getting the congratulations as Texas making big plays. And now trying to get another TD. Rounding the corners, Vondrell McGee. McGee takes it inside the 10 near the 9-yard line.
Just go ahead and run it here. Use the power, use the strength that you have. Pretty good job of holding up outside blocking. James Kirkendall trying to lead the way for Vondrell McGee, number 11.
Hold this one up with 8:33 remaining in the third quarter.
Full start, 64 offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Bill, you got offensive coordinator Greg Davis calling the plays here for Colt McCoy in this offense, and he's upstairs obviously, and he's getting the plays called down to Major Applewhite, who's signaling the plays in there to Colt McCoy. And that little communication, I think, is going to work well throughout the season with Greg. And you got a quarterback on the field who's experienced in this offense, and when you got a sudden change like that, you want to capture that momentum and continue into the end zone.
McCoy delivers to the 7-yard line. Joseph makes the tackle there on Cosby.
There's Major Applewhite on the sideline. He's getting the signal in there to Colt McCoy. He's listening to Greg Davis in the press box, and they're working together. First year back with as a coach here with the Longhorns.
He's been on a fast track in his coaching career. I'll tell you what, he is headed for head coaching success and probably won't take too long to get there. Texas on the 3rd and short keeps it, pushes it forward as McCoy gets the first down.
Trying to get a little push there, and you fly over. You got to hit him up high if you can. George Allen going airborne, number 50.
Boy, Cedric Dockery, one that gave him that rocket boost. And as a result, first and goal to go. McCoy wide open. Irby, touchdown Texas. Blaine Irby, a lot of grabs early, and now gets his first touchdown of the season. McCoy gets his 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
Yeah, Blaine Irby does a nice job getting outside, and great protection for Colt McCoy. Quick, easy step and throw. He sees his tight end release out there. Nobody covering him early, and just kind of muscles it into the end zone. No contact at all. Blaine Irby, what is it, 7 catches on the night, Bill, and now the touchdown. Going to be a pretty good weapon in this offense.
7 for 62 yards and a touchdown. And Hunter Lawrence on for the PAT to try to stay perfect in that category. And it is good. So Texas takes that blocked punt and quickly turns it into 7. We'll be right back on college football.
Top 42-10, and largely in part of Colt McCoy and how he's played tonight. This touchdown here is going to go to Blaine Irby, who's his tight end. He's lined up inside. He's going to go outside. He's going to get a little rub here by both of his receivers to the outside. Gets it clear so no defensive player can go out there to him. So clean and easy throw for Colt McCoy. Get it out to Mr. Irby for his first touchdown of the evening.
And McCoy right to the headset says McCoy 22 of 25, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Just a walk in the park.
Wow. What a night. Hunter Lawrence with a kickoff and taken on the 5. And Blanchard bringing it out about the 39. Let's send it down to him.
What reason, what's your driving force for wanting to be associated with the University of Texas?
Well, University of Texas, of course, is a great partnership.
All right, thank you.
Go.
And new quarterback, Jeff Van Camp, 6'5", 210, redshirt sophomore from Gulf Breeze, Florida. He comes in for Rusty Smith.
And they really like his athletic ability, and he's got a big arm.
I'll try to use it right here. Incomplete. Looking downfield for Lester Jean. Van Camp saw some action last year, and certainly a guy that they want to get an opportunity to get ready. Anymore, you like to play one, but you better have 2 or 3 ready.
Well, you definitely need to have 2 or 3. You know, they're a passing offense and not a run-style offense where that quarterback's going to be out there and running the option, kind of like Colt McCoy. We've been seeing him tonight, but you know, you see Rusty Smith trying to work it in, trying to get him to go up-tempo, kind of pick things up.
Crowd making some noise here on a 3rd and 7. Van Camp scoots through the defenders, keeps the football, but is going to be shy of the first down. It closed quickly as he got near that mark.
Good effort there. Good job of running the football. Pretty much upright, though, as you go through the line of scrimmage. Kind of disregard for his body, so it's going to bring up a 4th down situation here for Florida Atlantic. So looks like they're going to punt the football away. So I'm talking to Coach Nord there on the sideline. Like to get him in there with live action, live bullets flying around him, get him some reps.
All right. Here's Peterson to kick it away again. No block this time, and Peterson, good kick and sends it out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. As Texas was backed up near the 10-yard line, it appears. So an outstanding kick that time of 42 yards.
So he is coachable.
Yeah. He's learned, hasn't he? Hey, we were talking about Major Applewhite, certainly one of the all-time great quarterbacks and great leaders here at Texas. Take a look back at the 0-1 Big 12 championship game after Chris Sims had gotten injured. A touchdown pass, and remember this play? I was there at the game as he takes it down the middle, and then let the Colorado sideline know what he thought of him.
Gamer.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's quite a player.
Yeah, he's talked about his athletic ability, not being the most gifted guy, but he's a guy that got it done with his smarts, and he's doing that now. He's getting it done as a coach with his smarts and trying to teach young quarterbacks. Colt McCoy, one of them, and John Childs, and working with Greg Davis. And I know he's happy to be back here at the University of Texas.
Childs to the 15. The 17-yard line. And Texas set up for the 3rd and short situation now.
Well, I don't know if this will be the last we've seen of Colt McCoy in this ball game, but certainly want to get a chance for John Childs to get in there and run the full gamut of the offense, whether it's running the football or throwing the football. Get him to operate back there.
Well, Childs last year as a true freshman, he ran for 72 yards in the Rice game. He ended up on the year with 191 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And his passing has certainly improved. Last year, he only threw the ball 9 times. It was 1 of 9. It's something they worked on a lot in the spring. And yeah, it's not easy, Gary, because he is so valuable in so many ways. If you're going to put him on the field with McCoy and do other situations, that also takes away a little bit of his development as a quarterback, right?
Yeah, it really does, because you know you're not sitting back there. You know, repetitions at any position in football is really what's key, and so consistency and persistency in what you do as far as how you're preparing to play that position. You know, these guys practice plays every single day, and the more you're able to do that, especially in a live game situation, you're going to be more proficient at it. But when you're turning, when you're changing, being asked to do a lot of different things, as John Childs is, not going to be able to perhaps hone those skills as a true quarterback.
So, as the punt is taken care of, we'll take a look at some of the other action. The Big 12 as this real opening day, and illegal procedure against Texas. Before we do that, we'll see if they sort that out.
Legal formation, kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the dead ball spot.
All right, let's go to the
First
scores.
down.
We'll let them sort that out, and we'll check out what's been happening on North Texas. Back to the play here, and 3:40 to go here in the third quarter. Again, the backup quarterback, Jeff Van Camp, is on the field for Florida Atlantic. We'll come back to some of those scores when we get a second. Van Camp sets up, got time, and incomplete.
And Curtis Brown there in the coverage. Playing pretty closely on the receiver.
Intended for Williams.
Curtis Brown, a sophomore from Gilmer, Texas. Trying to create a little of that depth at the cornerback position.
And now it's 3rd and 11 from the 45 for Florida Atlantic. Van Camp hit hard as he throws, and it is incomplete. Trying to hook up on the sideline with Alfred Morris. Aaron Lewis was the man putting pressure on him.
Watch Aaron Lewis as he fights through inside there, splits the double team and gets contact on the quarterback as he throws the football. It's a good job by defensive lineman putting some pressure inside.
So Peterson punted away.
Last time in this situation had a great punt out of the 10-yard line.
Cosby, and again it rolls into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll bring it back out to the 20, and that's where the Longhorns will operate with just 2:58 to go in the third quarter. And Texas a comfortable 42-10 lead.
I thought he might have been done for the evening. Give Childs a chance to play, but I guess if they're just going to get them both, get them some more quality reps.
Colt 22 of 25, 201 yards, 3 TDs, and he has run for 60 yards on just 7 carries and has scored. Sets up here. Shipley. You don't see that very often. Gordon Shipley, a great receiver. Make it 2nd and 10 for Texas.
The fans here who came out to open this big stadium now, the largest in the state of Texas in college football. 90,000 strong here tonight. Pretty. I guess they've got to be pretty pleased with how the Longhorns have been playing.
McCoy keeps it here on a 2nd and 10. Scrambles up the middle to about the 24, and Josh Savage makes the stop there for the Owls. So 3rd and 6.
Getting a little bit, kind of got to get used to the teams don't huddle anymore. They're used to having a little pace. You go to the huddle, you break the huddle. That's not happening at all. Those couple of games that we've been at, Bill.
Yeah, and McCoy got the first down and out of bounds near the 32-yard line. You know, this is the second game we've worked with, the Baylor Wake Forest game tonight, and we've been very interested to see how the new 40-second clock would work. So far, And what I've been able to catch on television earlier today, I think most teams have made the adjustment pretty well.
Yeah, they're just going to go no huddle.
And it's been good for the game, though.
Yeah, it is. You just line up out there, and you just got to go with it. The pace seems to be picking up a little bit. The offense can dictate the pace of the game, and I think overall it may hurt some defensive substitutions as this moves forward. You're going to have to get better athletes on the field. You may not have that great pass rush that you like to have because you have to deal with personnel groups.
McCoy again steps out of bounds, and
it's almost effortless at Colt McCoy what he's doing to just run around and run outside. Now, I don't have a stopwatch on him, but he's got to be about a 4.5, 4.6 guy at worst.
And he is now their leading rusher with 84 yards rushing.
Just seamless, just easy getting around the edge, just smart. Now he's going to take one down the pipe.
How about that?
Just needed one, he gets 11.
He's going to get the 100-yard mark. He got 10 on that pickup. Rick Joseph and Ed Alexander were there.
I don't know if Greg Davis is liking this. You see the hole here, takes it straight down the pipe of the defense here, and it's a little help there. But really not getting a lot of contact.
So McCoy 11 for 94 now, and Texas
first down at the 46.
First down and 10 at the 46-yard line of Florida Atlantic. Shipley, the completed pass, and Shipley leans forward to get every yard to near the 39. Ed Alexander covering there.
I think Chris Hall's doing a nice job at center, number 71 for Texas, just kind of running things in the middle there, taking care of his quarterback. Good snaps tonight, calling out the signals of the offensive line and identifying the personnel, and then sliding right or left as need be on an even defense. 2nd and 3. And nice lead block by Hall.
Yeah. Obanaya this time with a carry. Chris Obanaya, and another first down as he's to the 35-yard line before Jameer Johnson, redshirt freshman from Wesley Chapel, Florida, the tackler for the Owls.
Saying some good things about old Chris Hall. What does he do? Just pulls on the even front. Nobody in front of him. What that means is he's not covered, and he pulls around the outside, and it's a good cut block on the outside. Get athletic linemen, big guys that can run like that, can do a lot of things offensively.
McCoy.
Catch.
What a grab that time by Cosby. Look like they've done that before.
No, they have. They have done it quite a bit. And Cosby and Colt McCoy, they've had a pretty good duo here the last couple of seasons. And nice job throwing it outside. Good footwork. Good concentration.
That's a perfect pass. The only guy that's going to catch it is going to be your guy. And Cosby with the grab, and that ends the 3rd quarter. So Texas, with McCoy running and throwing its way down the field, well on their way to another touchdown as we end the 3rd quarter, and the Longhorns up by 32, 42 to 10. McCoy put on some show, and they've spread the wealth. You're watching College Football Saturday. It's all Longhorns after. Welcome back, Texas 42-10 as we start the 4th quarter here at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium in Austin. Bill and Jerry Reasons up next with you. College Football Saturday, and McGee in a 1st and 10 from the 21, going for 6 out of the end zone that time as he tried to hook up with Shipley again.
And 5 wide package that time, and just Colt rolls to the near sideline. We've got 3 receivers, and a little touch pass out there, just using speed on speed, trying to find an open receiver. A little bit outside.
McCoy 24 of 29 for 222 yards.
Watch where you're after on the field, and bingo. He's got a smile on his face. That's good.
Watch where you're squatting down there. 2nd and 10 now for McCoy. Hands it off this time. Nothing doing for McGee or Obanaya. And
Savage on the tackle.
Savage in on the stop for the Owls.
Josh Savage, a redshirt junior in there, so 3rd long situation. Bring him out, put a little more speed on the field. Maybe get a pass rush. Look at the numbers here for Colt. 94 yards rushing. Just a day at the office. 4 touchdowns.
10 plays, 58 yards on this drive so far. It is now a 3rd and 11. Osby in motion, sets up in the slot on the near side, and McCoy got all day. Now he's flushed out a bit. He's going to keep it and looking for the first down.
Probably has it.
I think he does.
I tell you.
Wow, what a play.
Well, look at the protection first and foremost. Texas Longhorns offensive front not allowing anybody from Florida Atlantic to get back to their quarterback. Just look at Colt McCoy back there. If you just put a stopwatch on, I bet he's got about 7 or 8 seconds back there without any problem. He's the one who decides to roll out. And he decides, okay, I need to run this or get it on my own. When he fumbles the football out, it's going to be a little short there, a couple of yards short. I thought we might have had it, but third and it's going to be 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it here.
He looked like he hobbled a bit. I don't know if he caught his foot or whatever, but certainly well enough to stay on. And 4th and 2. And McCoy dodges a defender here. Flag is thrown near the line, and McCoy has the first down pending the flag. And usually you'd think a hold in that situation, wouldn't you? Myers made the tackle.
And I'm watching Colt McCoy operate tonight, Bill, and I'm thinking he's got another gear.
Holding, 71 offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
Chris Hall got called for it.
He's got a little extra pep in his step. He's obviously in great condition, ready to enter this season, and every play just seems effortless to him to outrun the defense, make the plays that he needs to. Throwing the ball very, very accurately tonight. It's a great first ball game for Colt McCoy here to start the season.
Well, the National Freshman of the Year when he throws for 29 touchdowns and 7 picks. And then last year, we talked about earlier the interception situation, so people are very critical. But we've also talked about some of the problems in the offensive line, and he obviously may have tried to do a little bit too much. But he's got it all going tonight, and it sets him up for the field goal that Hunter Lawrence takes care of on a 40-yard boot. And Texas tacks on 3 more. It's 45-10. Part of the record crowd of 98,053 that are here. 98,053. And what a treat. As you take a look at the running backs, we talked about committee. McGee was 63 yards, Obaniah 16, but he's also got 35 receiving. They both had a touchdown tonight as well.
And what about that quarterback? Throw him in there, too. Those numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, that's running back by committee, isn't it? He's over 100 yards. Colt McCoy, 103 on 12 carries.
The run game working well for the Longhorns tonight. Tailback and also that quarterback in the spread option offense.
So the kickoff, Tucker doing the honors. Edgecombe at the 10. And to shake a tackler. And finally brought down at the 23. And let's go down to...
That's what we want this year, individual and team, going for the big team. Now let's talk about one of your teammates, maybe one of the best Olympic performances of all time, Michael Phelps. What are your thoughts? You got a first-hand experience to watch this guy do what he did. What are your thoughts on his performance?
That man was incredible. What he did every single session. I mean, I did one event, one session, and then the next morning, and I was dead. He did it session after session after session, and it was just incredible.
Now, you were not the only Longhorn over there. Aaron Pearsall, several other Longhorns were there. How was it like, man, to be there with your teammates, guys that you swam with before? What was that like to experience what you experienced with those guys as well?
It's great. We had 7 people from that former or current Longhorns on that team. And the older pros, I mean, those guys are who you've looked up to the last few years. And they helped us out. They told us what to do, and they took care of us. And it's great to have teammates like that there.
Well, Ricky, I doubt that this will be your last Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, loaded on the Texas sideline, Olympic gold medalists and all. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Kind of puts it in perspective. He said he did that all 2 weeks, and talking about Phelps, what do you say? I swam once, swam another time, and I was dead.
I swim down the end of the pool. I can't even get to the end of the pool. What are you talking about?
I can't fathom what Phelps accomplished. Congratulations to Ricky Barrett, too, though. It's nice to hear after all of the success, he's talking about, we want to win an NCAA team championship here, and he didn't hesitate on that, did he? Florida Atlantic Down 45-10, facing a 3rd and 15 from their own 18 as the quarterback, Jeff Van Camp, back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Still in trouble. Flag thrown. Van Camp throws this to an open space out of bounds.
They're going to have holding inside there, and this is the number 2 Texas defense pretty much across the board.
Aaron Lewis and Sam Acho in there.
Holding, 70 offense. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Lavorius Williams called for the penalty. And Texas declining it. We'll get the football back on the 4th down situation. Peterson back to punt. Shooting back to inside the 5-yard line. Curtis Brown is the deep man. Double numbers will get you. Obadiah, of course, number 3 as well. But this is Curtis Brown that is back. And this one out of bounds. No opportunity for a return. And Texas, great field position again. See what group they bring on. Stay with us with the timeout called. 45-10. Texas comfortably leading on college football Saturday with a 45-10 and pretty much of a second unit coming in now with 11:52 to go and some valuable playing time. And before they snap the football, flags are thrown.
False start. 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
David Snow, false start for Texas. And he's a guy that they're very high on. A freshman from Gilmer, Texas, 6'4", 300-pounder.
Now, true freshmen get a chance to play, get a little depth against that offensive line.
He's saying, don't just mention my name when I do something wrong.
And there's the update on Oklahoma and UT Chattanooga.
Weather delay.
Yeah, lightning delay, but Sooners up comfortably just by a little bit of 50.
Cody Johnson carrying the football. Yeah, you show that Oklahoma scored. One thing, Texas always looking to see what Oklahoma's doing. Oklahoma's always seeing what Texas is doing. Doesn't matter.
Keep an eye out.
It's still August, but they're all looking forward to October in Dallas. That it doesn't matter who they're playing. Everybody's keeping tabs on their big rival. And this Chattanooga, a 1AA opponent for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that was a game that had to be scheduled because Oklahoma had a team drop out of their schedule, so that was a late ad. I don't think the quality of opponent that Joe Castiglione and Bob Stoops would really like to have on the schedule, but had to do that late, and Texas has had to do that in the past.
Here is Johnson. He's got the 1st down across the 40, down to the 38. Now the Texas schedule, I mean, I don't know, Gary, I heard a lot of discussions about scheduling, but it's like there's too many people to serve. Fans want one thing. Broadcasters, we want great games. We want great matchups every week, right? Coaches want W's. They want to get their team set up right. Athletic directors are concerned about finances and what they're doing, so it isn't like that they're all on the same page all the time, but I think for the most part, when you look at Texas, they're generally going to play one big-time team every year. Arkansas is that, renewing. That is a great rivalry. And then you've got UTEP and Rice that are both from the Conference USA, and that's in El Paso.
That's not going to be a walk in the park with Mike Price's team out there. Very, very well-coached football team out there in El Paso.
And then, of course, you have the defending Sun Belt champions here, so you got a pretty good mix in this case. Childs trying to deliver, and he does. Completed to Kirkendall, and that'll be another 1st down as they get it down to the 25-yard line.
Childs out there, a little escapability, no problem for him. Got great wheels, great athlete, and kind of made some space with his feet on the edge. You see the fake and just in and out. Whoop. You see me, now you don't, and zips it out there.
Well, and that's the case there that he might have last year just said, I got one guy and he's 10 yards away from me. I'll just tuck it under. And realizing you still got to work on the throwing game. Different situation here as they cut down toward the sideline.
That was well played by Florida Atlantic, stringing that play out.
Childs out of Dallas, played at Summit High School, and total offense of just under 4,000 yards as an All-American player. Here's some other scores that we can lay on you as Texas A&M is losing to Arkansas. It's a final.
That's a final.
Wow. Well, Texas fans know Arkansas State came in here last year and didn't lay down, and Texas got away with a victory that people are saying that's not very impressive.
Steve Roberts is the head coach at Arkansas State. I know that man, and he is a fine football coach. And wow, that's definitely an upset. Definitely an upset.
Not what I think the Aggies under Mike Sherman may not thought they're going to be world beaters this year. Also, we're counting on a W there. Earlier today, of course, I was noticed that Pitt got beat by Bowling Green, and East Carolina beat Virginia Tech. So a pair of top 25s were knocked off there. Here's Johnson wanting to score again. Pulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
Well, we got a flag on the ground on the outside there, Bill. So we'll have to check the flag on this, but a great effort at that time on the outside by Johnson, and not going to be denied with his stiff arm or elbow, whatever you want to call it, going into the end zone.
5'11", 255 pounds. He is a load.
Legal block, 14 offense, 15-yard play, replay, third down.
That's Weber.
Montre Weber.
Let's take a look, see if we can see it. I hear number 14 to be on the right side of your screen. Does he block low? There it is. Yeah, it definitely blocks low from the outside. Cannot do that. It's a safety issue. I think it's a good penalty call and negates that. And that's pretty physical running though on the outside. You got Cody Johnson trying to muscle his way in the end zone. The finish was good, but Weber, you know, come from the outside. Perimeter players cannot block below the waist. Definitely a penalty.
.831 remaining in the ball game, and Texas now has it pushed back 3rd and 13 at the 29-yard line. And a timeout.
Yeah, got a wrong formation lineup there, so Texas is forced to call a timeout.
So with the game well in hand, Texas though, and now the score is shown to the fans on the Godzillatron, if you will, of Arkansas State defeating Texas A&M. Like I said, you're in Texas, you keep an eye on Oklahoma, you always keep an eye on the Aggies as well.
To me, that's amazing. That is an amazing score. You know, just everyone coming into the season thought that Stephen McGee and Jaworski Lane and Mike Goodson offensively were really going to give a spark to the Aggies down there. Mike Sherman, renewed interest. Someone who's been in the program, obviously knows the landscape down at Texas A&M very, very well. Worked under R.C. Slocum, former NFL head coach. Wow.
Well, the season openers, they sound like coach speak, but you really have to be nervous. You just don't know. It's the first time you actually see the other guy. Here's one delivered to Kirkendall. There's your touchdown. Kirkendall from Childs in Texas gets 6 more.
Well, is that John Child's first touchdown and pass of his career?
Yes, it is.
A little special play there. Tosses it up to Kirkendall. I'll congratulate him on the sidelines. Well, this offense is well designed, and it's designed to score. Greg Davis has been running this for a number of years with a number of quarterbacks, and John Childs showing that he's got the ability, both with his feet and with his arm, to be a very good addition to this Longhorn football team.
So Kirkendall, 29 yards on the scoring play, and Ryan Bailey comes on for the point after. So Bailey, a little dinged up. He gets the PAT. Kirkendall gets the touchdown, and Texas rolls 52-10. And Childs, his first career TD pass as Texas picks up another touchdown, 29-yarder to James Kirkendall. And great opportunity for Texas to get so many players into the game with legitimate playing time. And 8:24 still to go, and the Longhorns will kick it off.
And you've got to be pleased. Malcolm Williams coming in as a receiver, catching football. James Kirkendall They're looking for that third and good depth of receiver, and they're finding some guys that are making some plays.
Tucker with the kickoff, and Willie Floyd comes back with it, knocked out of bounds. Around the 30-yard line, and that's where Florida Atlantic will take over. Florida Atlantic, last year they beat Minnesota. They played at Oklahoma State. They've certainly played Florida. They've gone to a lot of difficult places, and it helped them prepare to end up winning the Sun Belt Conference. And Florida Atlantic next week, they've got UAB. And UAB a loser to Tulsa tonight. And they've also got to go to Michigan State, Minnesota, and end up with the South Florida rival, Florida International, later on. I thought it was interesting is Howard Schnellenberg talked about the growth of Florida Division I football, and that used to just be Florida, Florida State, and Miami. And the Johnny-come-lately, Central Florida, South Florida both made some names, obviously, and now Florida International, Florida Atlantic. And he said, hey, give this thing another 5 or 6 years, and there won't be much difference between any of us. I think you may not be right there, but there's enough players in Florida to supply these teams.
There's no doubt there are players in Florida. You know, Florida, Texas, a couple of states that are hotbeds for recruiting. And Coach Schnellenberger talking to us about, you know, how between Tampa and Orlando, they got that little corridor from Interstate 4 that goes through there. South of there, 300-plus players signed Division I scholarships in that state, and just a lot of athletes out there. And it was interesting. We also talked to Coach Nord, Gary Nord, who used to be the head coach at the University of Texas El Paso. And I asked him, I said, Coach Nord, give me a little synopsis of recruiting in the state of Texas and recruiting in the state of Florida, and talk about the athletes and really how do you compare and contrast them. And he said the players in Texas have, you know, some of the facilities and things, weight training that they have, and they're more developed perhaps than some of the kids in Florida. He says there's great athletes in Florida, but overall, he says the guys that come out of the high schools in Texas are a little better prepared and ready to play college football.
Yeah, he said the support system is much better in Texas, and interesting that, and a guy like that who would know, now that he has been down in that part of the country, be able to compare the two. And a tip of the cap to the high school coaches in the state of Texas, and even though football is huge in both states, the support given here, according to that man, is much greater. And certainly you've seen it pay off for UT. Here's the kick as Curtis Brown is the deep man, and Peterson's kick is taken by Brown. And Texas again, great field position at the 44 after a 3 and out.
They're working really, really hard because they're tired of hearing that they're not the best team around.
And that can be a motivator, and certainly
well, get used to those being on top. And
yeah,
you win a national championship just a few short years ago, 2005, and wow, you know. But you know, these 10-win seasons, they just keep adding up. But they want more here at Texas. They want 11, 12 national championship type winning seasons, and they are so precious.
And now another quarterback getting into the act here as the Longhorns get a chance to get everybody involved, and still plenty of time here as well with 5:34 remaining in this one. Sherrod Harris, and again, he's not void of talent either. I mean, nobody that's playing quarterback at this school is. And Harris is just in the difficult position of being behind Colt McCoy and John Childs.
Just kind of how the depth chart shakes out, but chance to play, chance to learn, chance to be a part of this program, and you never know when your number's going to be called. So you got to take these opportunities and make the most of them, and Mr. Harris, I'm sure, is mindful of that.
Takes a snap here and hands it off, and Texas, Jeremy Hills running the football. Hills at the 49-yard line. Hills, 6 foot 187, freshman out of Houston, Lee Felsick.
Some of the stars here for Texas. We've talked offensively about Colt McCoy and Obanyaya, how he's run real well, and also their other tailback that's run pretty well in this game tonight, Vondrell McGee. Defensively, Brian Arapco, he's got to be the guy, the bell cow up there, and kind of didn't have a huge game tonight, but he was definitely a force up there. As that the defensive front did a good job against Florida Atlantic.
Trevor Gerlin to punt it away here on a 4th and 5 at the 49. down inside the 20 before it bounces out of bounds. See where they spot the football, and that's where the Owls will get it back here with 4:08 remaining.
Big plays on special teams. 3 phases of a football game, and offense, defense, special teams. And most times if you win 2 of them, Bill, you're probably going to win the football game. And Texas getting it done also special teams wise, getting a block punt. Earl Thomas getting a block punt, and they wind up turning it around into points. So look at Coach Muschamp, his first ball game as a defensive coordinator for the University of Texas. High energy guy. You know, when we talked to him on our conference call, I was extremely impressed with Will Muschamp, and just he's almost encyclopedic in nature as far as how he talks about his system, his players, the other team's players, and just a smart, sharp guy, very energetic, and all the guys as they talk about him and the energy that he brings to their defense is they're all praising him very much so.
Well, his defense has done a number tonight. 287 yards of offense is what Florida Atlantic has generated. But when the game was on the line, they pretty well controlled things after a few mishaps early in the passing game. Willie Floyd is getting the bulk of the carries here for Florida Atlantic. He is stopped at the 34-yard line after a nice pickup on the previous run.
Muschamp's his resume is pretty impressive. Last couple of years at Auburn as a defense coordinator. He worked in the National Football League as a coordinator. He's got that experience, and bringing that here to Texas, you just got a blend of it, and it still comes down to energy and excitement, and how you translate that to players and get them to act and put them in positions where they can succeed on the field. That's what a coach does, and I know that Coach Muschamp feels very much so that that's his job responsibility out there.
Van Camp completes that one to number 19, Fick. The second, got to about 5 yards on the play as Fick, the receiver, on the play.
You know, when a young secondary today, Bill, talking about Texas in the secondary, started a couple of freshmen at the safety spots, and how are they going to play? Who's going to replace the stalwarts that have been here? You know, the Michael Huffs, the Griffin brothers, those guys that are not here any longer, Ross, and at a cornerback spot. Those guys, when they came in pretty much all together, they were a bunch of guys that played at the University of Texas in the secondary for a long time under longtime defensive back coach Dwayne Akina, who has really worked that group into a special group. And they feel like this group right here, together with a lot of youth and a little blend of experience, but a lot of youth, they feel like they've got similar athleticism. And Coach Akina has done a great job of grooming these cornerbacks, and he's had cornerbacks drafted 6 out of the last 7 years or something of that nature to have some successful players move on to the National Football League.
Great recruiting tool, that's for sure, and certainly taking care of business here tonight. And after the incompletion by Van Camp, a 4th and 5 at the 39. Curtis Brown again is deep for the punt from Keegan Peterson, and Brown get a chance to, he'll just take it there on the fair catch on the 17-yard line. And
a little power there.
Colt McCoy, yeah. We'll put some numbers up there to give you an idea of just how strong he was. 222 passing. Look at that. 22 of 25. 103 rushing on just 12 carries. And 7 different receivers. I really don't know what more he... I'm trying to think. Okay, we got Kirkendall bobbled one pass. Shipley dropped another one that he will catch 99 out of 100. And I think the other was a long ball that Cosby almost made a grab on, where McGee made a terrific throw to get it to him. I mean,
every ball was on target. You know, he kind of made some of the Florida Atlantic players look like pretty poor athletes, because with his feet and his athleticism, just getting around him, avoiding the rush. I think he's really playing with another gear. I think he's heightened his athletic performance. He's come into this season, you know, in great shape and ability, and I think that he is ready to have a fantastic season.
30 first downs for Texas tonight as Harris hands this one off to Cody Johnson.
Big boy can move now.
And he is he's tired. He's like, hey, I may have gotten the first touchdown of the game, but I'm ready to roll.
Well, you did see the stiff arm around the edge? Watch this. If we get a replay of this, watch the stiff arm that he does on the defensive end and sticks him on the ground. No, I don't want to come out, Coach. Don't be taking me out.
1:36 to go. He's got 9 carries for 36 yards and a score. Johnson, Obaniah, Shipley, McCoy, McGee, Irby, Lawrence, and Kirkendall scoring the touchdowns tonight. How about that?
Probably a first down here. It looked like a pretty good, clean game. The one injury that we saw here tonight was offensive guard Charlie Tanner left the ball game with looks like a little ankle problem, so had to take him off the field. Hopefully he's going to have a speedy recovery, but really for both teams, Bill, looked like a pretty clean football game. Not a lot of physical problems out there. A couple of guys might have had a little heat-related stuff, but not too much.
So Britt Mitchell, an injured player, and hopefully he is going to be all right out of Kilgore. Texas 52-10 here with just 1:31 remaining in the ball game. And they will help Britt Mitchell off. Yeah, I think when Texas, the schedule we showed you there, okay, UTEP, Arkansas, Rice, they can weather that. The real test comes, obviously, with Oklahoma and Dallas is always the big indicator. But I look at Colorado before that game, and then after OU, they host Missouri. After those 3 games, you're going to pretty well know just what you're headed for here in Austin. Not those others aren't important, but that is a most difficult 3-game stretch. And
there's nothing easy on that.
No.
What about these guys down here, Kansas? They won 12 ball games last year.
And that's why, if you want to say they're under the radar, no, the schedule, playing those North teams where you alternate with those 3 teams every 2 years. You know, this year they've got Kansas
and
Missouri and Colorado. You know, last year it was Iowa State, K-State, Nebraska. And granted, K-State got them, but you take a look at it, you'd rather have that role. So that is as much a reason for the concerns as any.
68, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The 1:12 remaining, and they'll do it all over again here as they push it back 5 yards.
I think overall Mac's got to be pleased with his football team tonight, offensively, defensively. They did a nice job on the defensive side, containing a pretty salty offense. I think that Rusty Smith and company, they're gonna continue to get better and improve, and they're definitely going to contend in that Sun Belt Conference. There's no doubt about that.
I would agree. And the handoff again from Childs, and that'll do it as Hills carries the football, and we have one more play. We'll see if they just do it or down the football. But Texas 52, Fort Atlantic 10. And the Longhorns, Mac Brown, in front of a record crowd of 98,053, most ever to see a football game in Texas. And what a success with the stadium expansion and the debut of the 2008 Longhorns. 7 seconds, and Childs will take a snap for a final play and another flag.
We've got an offensive false start, so we're going to get the ball snap.
Stick it in your pocket, ref. Enough's enough.
88, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
He's doing his job. He'd be downgraded if he didn't do that. They grade these referees. They got to do those things.
I beg your pardon. I think I said Childs. That's obviously Harris that is out here wrapping things up. We've lost our focus a little bit too. But a big night for Texas as the Longhorns take care of business here in a season-opening win. And Mac Brown, win number 190 in his coaching career, and beats the veteran Howard Schnellenberger and the Florida Atlantic Owls 52-10 as the Longhorns, very impressive over the Owls of Florida Atlantic. And Colt McCoy leading the way as the defense took a little bit of time to find its way, but controlled things as well. And the Longhorns with over 500 yards of total offense, 503 to 292 in the total offense story here tonight.
Yeah, I think overall they played an exceptional football game. Colt McCoy was definitely on his game tonight, running the football, throwing the football, almost perfect in the first half. Just put up some pretty impressive numbers and got everybody in the action tonight. Threw the ball around, spread the wealth around. Number of players doing a great job offensively, and I think the defense as well played decent for the majority of the ball game. Had a couple of drives there where Florida Atlantic moved the football against the Longhorns, but overall it was a good night. Clean, healthy night for everyone involved, except for Charlie Tanner. Looked like he left with an ankle injury, but the Longhorns got to be pleased with this, and I know the Mac Brown's got to be pleased with how his football team performed.
No doubt. We'll have a chance to hear from him as well and find out his exact thoughts as Texas led this one 14-0 at the quarter, 28-10 at the half. Hausler's 20-yard TD pass reception from Smith gave the Owls a little bit of life before intermission, but then Texas, if there was any doubt that they would put them away, McGee on a 7-yard run to start the third quarter, just a minute 4 for the drive that went the length of the field, and Colt McCoy engineered that. And it was just a matter of how much before Texas would lock this one up and put it away. Enjoy a little eyes of Texas here with the Longhorns winning. What an opening for Texas. 52-10 over the Owls of Florida Atlantic. The defending Sun Belt champions pounded by the Longhorns here, and Ahmad Brooks is with the head coach, Mac Brown.
The Horns start out 1-0 behind a great defensive performance and also offensive performance. Coach Brown, what are your thoughts on this first game? You got your first one under your belt.
Well, it usually depends on how you stop the run, how you run the ball, and get some balance in kicking game. And I thought we played near a perfect second half. So really proud of this team. Florida Atlantic was well prepared. Rusty Smith's a great player. He's as advertised, and I walked over and told him that after the game. They've got a good team. They'll probably win their conference again, but I'm really proud of our start tonight. Got a lot to work on, but this was a pretty good performance for an opener.
Colt McCoy rushing for over 100 yards, passing efficiently and effectively. What are your thoughts on your star quarterback?
Well, we did a great job of balancing our offense, but also not turning the football over and forcing a lot of turnovers was really, really big to us. And I was proud to see John Childs get on track with some passes, too.
Coach, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you again sometime.
Thanks so much.
Take care, gentlemen.
All right.